Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer of New York had a whopper yesterday. He's still trying to sell this message to his base that Donald Trump is trying to ruin Social Security, and it's already a provable lie. But that's not stopping Chuck. Here he was yesterday.
This administration is intent on slashing Social Security so that they can get more tax breaks for their billionaire buddies. I never thought I'd see the day, but that's what's happening. And if you don't believe us, listen to them. Musk says it's a Ponzi scheme. Tell the 78-year-old lady who needs it for medicine that it's a Ponzi scheme, that she shouldn't get her check. Now, their goal is clear. Destroy Social Security from within. Make it so unworkable, so inefficient, that Donald Trump has the pretext to slash benefits, to kill it, and then privatize the program. What is the intent? Kill Social Security by strangling it, by not letting it work, by making it so that it's impossible for people to get their help and their benefits. That's what they're doing. And it is simply outrageous. They've revealed their true colors. Trump and Musk are just eroding the American dream. They're rigging the system for billionaires while stealing from the elderly, from the disabled, to cut taxes for their billionaire club.
I'm sorry, I for a moment there, I got so dazzled by such a dynamic and charismatic leader. He's just, the oratory and the rhetoric was just spellbinding. He's so good. Whew. Okay, a couple of quick things here. Calling a Ponzi scheme does not mean that some 72-year-old woman isn't going to get her check. She's going to get her check. That's how the Ponzi schemes work. No. It's the 30-year-old who's paying for that check right now. They're the ones who aren't going to get it, Chuck, and everybody knows that. It's not destroying Social Security, to be truthful and honest about it. Everybody knows it, and it's not even debatable. It's numbers. You can't argue with math. The money is not there, and there's not enough people making enough money and putting enough money into Social Security to pay for all the people who are getting benefits out of it right now. That's the definition of a Ponzi scheme. The people at the top of the pyramid, the people who are on retirement right now, they're going to be fine. It's me, it's you, it's your kids, it's future generations who are screwed. And he knows that. He's not stupid. He's just a hack. So calling it what it is doesn't mean you want to destroy it. Actually identifying the problem is the first step in fixing it, in repairing it, in actually making Social Security work and function. Everything you just heard there from Chuck Schumer, everything was a complete and total lie. But you don't need to hear it from me. Let's check out the Treasury Secretary, Bessent. He was on Fox News a little after this press conference, and Martha McCallum asked him directly about this.
Is that the goal, to kill Social Security from within, as we just heard from Senator Schumer?
Martha, first of all, thanks for having me. And clearly, no. Senator Schumer seems a little discombobulated these days. He did the right thing on passing the clean CR. Last week, he's taken a lot of shrapnel from his party, and extreme statements like this are not helpful for anyone. The American people, when they voted for President Trump, voted for accountability, and whether it's Doge, whether it is our efforts at Treasury and the IRS, we are bringing accountability and efficiency in, and we want to make things better for the American people. We want to ensure that they get everything that they have paid in, and their benefits are there when they need them, as they need them. So, Senator Schumer is way off base here.
Yeah, he's lying, in fact, or he's a moron, or both. We always hold open the possibility that these Democrats are both. Let's just be clear on what they're talking about here and what Schumer is screaming about. He said they're trying to strangle it from within. They're trying to strip away its ability to help people. They're trying to, one of the things they're doing here is that that they're mandating that someone who's getting a Social Security benefit has to call or has to go to an office in person and prove they are who they are and that they are the right age and they've got the, it's validation to make sure that you're getting your benefits. That seems pretty reasonable, doesn't it? Democrats are going to say, well, it's not fair. There are people on Social Security who can't get in a car, who can't drive anywhere, who can't go anywhere. First of all, they'll make accommodations for people who are truly disabled, but it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. You get anything in this world, you have to prove you are who you say you are, unless voting, of course, if you're in a blue Democrat state. But this is pretty normal. The rest of us who live in the real world, if you're going to get money or some sort of handout or free thing, you got to prove you are who you say you are with some form of identification. Thank you very much. That's pretty normal. There's some other adjustments and new efficiencies that they're trying to put to Social Security. Remember that story about how they're keeping all the records and paper in a mine, like down an elevator shaft in Pennsylvania, and because of the speed and efficiency or lack thereof of the elevator, they can only get federal employees to retire $10,000 per month. They can't handle more than that because of the way they're keeping the records. I mean, everybody knows, and everyone has known that they use outdated systems, it's completely inefficient. You ask any doctor who has to deal with Medicare or Medicaid, and all they'll do is complain about how horrible the system is. That's a hallmark of government systems. Have you people been to the DMV recently? So that's what we're talking about. People forget that the E in DOGE stands for efficiency. It's the Department of Government Efficiencies, but Chuck Schumer and the Democrats, they're against that. They're in favor of DAGE, the Department Against Government Efficiency. And so they'll continue to lie to the American people. We all know how inefficient and horribly run these agencies are. We know how bloated and how wasteful they are. Everybody knows it. It's undeniable. In fact, you've got clip after clip after clip of Democrats, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, even Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi saying it back when it behooved them politically. And now they're claiming if you try to make these departments efficient, you're gutting it, you're killing it, you're strangling it, you're putting a pillow over it in its bed so it suffocates, and a 78-year-old woman who's living on Social Security is going to die because of you. It's so old and tired. They've been doing it forever. But something's new going on right now, because now when Democrats go on and try to do that, they get bodied, like by Phil Kernan this morning on CNBC. Ro Khanna. Sorry, what's his last name again? I always forget. Khanna, yeah, Ro Khanna. I'm told that he's one of the reasonable, kind of moderate Democrats, although he's from the Bay Area in California, so how moderate can he be? But he's one of the reasonable ones. He's one of the ones who, is really, tells it like it is. Watch this exchange on CNBC this morning, where he tries to say, hey, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, they're perfectly efficient. They're run beautifully. Watch what happens.
In fact, I just tweeted something out that said that fraud, waste, and abuse is probably the biggest bipartisan thing that we have. That it's not specific to what my policies are or what my politics are. If it's being levied by the federal government, it probably is inefficient because there's no reason for it not to be.
Well, there's certain things that are not inefficient. Medicare, the Social Security,
what?
Large parts
Medicare's
of Medicare.
Not inefficient. Come on, are you out of your mind? Medicare, and I'm not saying it's Medicare's fault necessarily. There are look around and look at the way Medicare is gamed out by the people that benefit from it, or Medicaid. Medicare Advantage might be one of the things that we're talking about, right, Ro?
Medicare Advantage, I agree that they have actually had higher billing for people who are not as sick. But when you look at Medicare, the administrative cost of that program is far, far lower than private insurance. And most people who are on Medicare are pretty happy with Medicare. And that is actually a place where government is more efficient than the private sector. So I do think there is a huge role for government. You look at the Medicaid cuts that they're proposing, that in my town halls, that was the biggest thing people were concerned about, that they may not be able to get care for their kids or for their sick parents.
And that's why the Democrats are towing this line. They finally found something. They pulled it. They've They've focus grouped it. They've decided that scaring people that they're going to lose their Medicare because of so-called Medicare cuts is an in to try to chip away at the popularity and support that Donald Trump has. And so that's why you're hearing, that's why you get the reasonable one, Ro Khanna, going on CNBC saying, hey, there's nothing inefficient about Medicare. But I love Kernan. Are you out of your mind? What are you talking about? Here's how they do it. And this is where the battle lines are drawn right now. And this is what you're going to be hearing from the left and from the media, is that, once again, Republicans are giving tax cuts to the rich and they're going to cut benefits like Social Security and Medicare. None of it is true. None of it is true. But there are efforts to get rid of fraud, people who are getting benefits that shouldn't get them. We know that's happening. There are efforts to make it more efficient so you don't have to spend so much money. A perfect example in Los Angeles, I saw this story that they spend $130,000 a month to issue parking tickets that bring in $100,000 a month in fines. You do the math. You're wasting $30,000 a month to give tickets to people for parking. If you just let people park where they want and you didn't issue any tickets at all, you'd be ahead $30,000 a month. That's a perfect example of how these government systems work. And you cannot tell me that Medicare and Social Security have moments like that in their everyday operations that can be fixed. And the whole effort is to save these programs because they will collapse if you do what the Democrats suggest that you do. And so what they do is they throw out a lie. They manufacture a fake story and a lie. Tax cuts for the rich so you can kill Medicare. And you put that into a focus group and you pull it and you suddenly see some response. And the answer, the memo goes out to all these Democrats, even the reasonable ones like Ro Khanna. You tell them, hey, this works. Go out there and say the Republicans are giving tax cuts to the wealthy and they're going to ruin Medicare and they're going to cut benefits in Social Security. Wait, but that's not true. Doesn't matter. It works. And we need something right now. And that's what you're going to see. But you're smart enough for it. You know better. That's why you're here. And we're going to continue telling you the truth so you can share it. You can share it yourself with all your friends on social media.